Hi guys, we're gonna cut the intros.
Yeah, so
you need, if there's the video right before this one, watch that one, and then you'll lead in this one.
Yeah, so that one's the one that focuses on the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies you need to see before the Avengers. This one's focusing on the comic books. So
these are for someone who's never ventured into a comic book store, has no idea where to start. There's decades of continuity.
3 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to help you. If someone gave me this years and years and years ago, I would have tackle hugged.
Yeah, but your mom was a comic book fan.
Yeah,
so.
I grew up in a comic book fan household, so I didn't even have to read them to know what was going on. Like,
unlike me, who I didn't even know what a comic book was until I saw Iron Man 1 and I became friends with her. Yeah. So, I mean, coming from me who's never been into a comic book store,
you become a whiz very fast. This is going to help you. So, first thing I want to say for the Avengers and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, most of that comes from the Ultimates universe. I'm using the latest one because it'll be the easiest to get your hands on. Yeah, Ultimates. This is the cover. Pretty wonderful. It's great that it deals with the...
you might want to show them the...
Oh, yeah, this is the... cover.
Yeah, this is the packaging that's going to come in. This is issue 1.
Yeah. The line right now, as of making this video, which is February 25th, they're up to issue number 6. So you're not very far behind. The price for them, I think they're about $3.99.
That's a standard for a comic.
For a comic, that's a lot of people read. Yeah. If it's not as popular, it'll be cheaper. But $3.99, not bad. It's Ultimates, and yeah, it's got the Samuel L. Jackson inspired Nick Fury, which is not the original Nick Fury. No, keep that in mind.
An original Nick Fury, and don't be confused with if you walk in and it's going to be kind of rare, but if you see something that's called Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, similar to, not the same as Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. So there's a little crowbar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the old school Nick Fury. Ultimate.
And another thing I want to say, not everything that's in the Ultimates is going to be in the Avengers universe. It's just certain aspects from the Ultimates. So, like Nick Fury.
This is the closest comic book without being a direct tie-in to the movie.
And also in March, the Avengers Assemble line is going to come out. It'll be great. It'll be a great tie-in for people that want to get into the movies. It hasn't come out yet, but when it does, you should probably pick it up. Now, also, if you want to get a lot of the inside jokes, because there are inside jokes in every single Marvel Cinematic Universe film.
They really are.
So I'm going to just flat out, I know it's a little pricey. Actually, it's not too bad. It's $17. Look how thick this mofo is. It's the Essential Avengers, Volume 1. Just get Volume 1. You don't need anything more than that. It has the first, I think, yeah, the first 24 issues. All Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Don Heck. Brilliant. It's got the original Avengers team, which is not the one that's going to be in the movie.
This guy over here, this is
Giant Man, is Hank Pym.
Hank Pym.
And there's Jane.
Yeah, Wasp.
Wasp.
Yeah, right there.
And, I mean, it's just quality. A lot of the inside jokes, especially about Dr. Donald Blake with Thor. All those inside jokes
very funny.
Come from the original comics.
Also, I want to take this time to mention, it's something that we didn't mention in the first one with the Cinematic Universe movies, is if you do want to get some background info on the Avengers, you can also watch the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I know it's a kid's show. It's a kid's show.
It's not really a kid's
Disney
show.
XD puts it out, but it is quality. It is the best animated Marvel show I've seen.
It is on Netflix, so you guys, just letting you know.
The whole first season's on Netflix. Second season is due out sometime this year. They haven't set a release date, but great show. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It has everyone that's both in the classic Avengers and who is going to be in the Avengers movie. It's got Black Widow, Hawkeye. It's great.
Exactly. So, also, in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, this is a tiny bit of a spoiler, but it's not really. Black Widow has a Russian accent, but it also goes back to her American accent. Scarlett Johansson
for some reason she doesn't do one. Yeah, she doesn't do a Russian accent.
Don't be confused about that. She is supposed to be Russian, so that's why she goes back and forth.
Natasha Romanoff, yeah.
Natasha, and sometimes
or Natalie,
Natalie, or even Natalia. I've seen
all kinds of.
Just to let you know, as long as her last name is Romanoff and she is called Black Widow, that is who she is. So.
Yeah. And Romanova is another one. But
yeah. So.
Anyways, next, Avengers Prime. Now, I recommend this to be purchased alongside Civil War. Which is right here. I'll get to that later. Avengers Prime is one of the funniest books ever. It's just a feel-good kind of book.
I just have to show them the back. So, Knight in Shining Armor, Captain America here. One of the funniest costume decisions that they ever made for a comic book character. You'll see why. He kind of looks a little like... I don't want to say Aquaman and cross
he does look a bit like Aquaman if he was a knight or something. It's weird. It's very weird, but it's brilliant. Brian Michael Bendis wrote it. This is the hardcover. I paid $25 for it, but I know it's thin, but it's worth it. It's hilarious. It will cheer you up. I reread it all the time.
You can also get it in trade paperback.
If you don't want to shell out the money. But I love hardcovers.
I highly suggest that if you want to get into comic books to, like...
you actually don't need to know any background. You can go in without reading anything.
And if you want to start collecting comic books and you want to go with collecting trades, I do both. I collect trades and the others. Getting the hardcovers is definitely worth the money because they will last you forever.
Yeah.
And I know that with one of our comic book stores that we usually go to here, they do run specials where you can get a trade
for about $5 to $10.
For $10, you can get the paperback for $5. You can get the hardcovers for $10. So
brilliant.
Be on the lookout for that. Ask around and see.
Yeah.
So just to let you know.
And next, this is Civil War. Now this is very important.
Feels.
This is just the straight up issues 1 to 7 trade. Civil War was a story arc that happened a few years ago. It covers the entire Marvel Universe, including the Avengers, obviously. And basically, it's what would happen if... now, again, I don't know if you know this because you haven't read comics yet, but Captain America and Iron Man are the best of friends. They are the bros to end all bros, okay?
And just to let you know, they are the gayest straight people you will ever see in a comic book. They seriously have some of the gayest moments ever.
But yeah, so really, this is basically the breakup. Like, their friendship ends, and it is crazy, and they throw the whole Marvel Universe into shenanigans.
I almost shouted out a spoiler there, but I didn't.
We're not going to spoil you, but basically, it's greatness. It's very sad. Bring some tissues. I cried, and I never cry over anything. Tears.
And I cry a lot, so this one's really difficult for me to read. But this is just the standard one. You can get it.
And they also have trades for that focus on specific character story arcs. I have the Civil War Iron Man because Iron Man's my boy.
Yeah. That
one's great.
Captain America. They have...
the Captain America is more focused on the Winter Soldier storyline, which we'll get to.
Yeah, it's Winter Soldier all the way. Anyway, so they have the Fantastic Four. If you want to be more of a Fantastic Four fan, we're totally not against it. Galactus is they've got
Civil Wars for like everybody.
Everybody. They have the new Avengers.
This one is just the straight up Civil War issues number 1 through 7. So it's all the issues, but there's so many issues that were in other lines, like. Yeah, this is not the whole story.
So just to let you know, these are a little bit pricey. This one is the trade paperback, and it's $25. But it's totally worth it if you want to...
The writing is absolutely magnificent.
The writing is amazing. If you don't want to spend $25 on it right now, I suggest you go into your comic book store, you read a few pages, and you'll want to buy it. Yeah, because, I didn't even read it. I just heard from what she told me. And I automatically just picked it up and bought it because it is such an amazing story. Yeah. And it's just, you definitely need to read that one.
Our next book is going to be Captain America Man Out of Time. This one, if you just finished watching Captain America, the end made you sad, and you're like, oh, how is he going to handle coming from being frozen into modern life? This addresses it.
This is essentially what happens when he comes back.
How he handles it, what his mental state is. It also, again, him meeting Iron Man, so it deals a lot with their friendship.
And this one is very bro-centric. They are very much immediate friends in this one. Yeah. It happens similar to what happened in the movie, but not really because... I'm not going to spoil it, but I was almost going to spoil it.
It's not movie-verse.
It's definitely not
movie-verse. But it is definitely, if you want to read about... Captain America and how he adapts to modern life. That one's worth it. Also,
another side note that I believe is worth mentioning. In just about every Captain America that you're going to read, if you've seen the movies, which if you're watching this, probably not. If you've seen the movies, what happens to Bucky, that's all I'm going to say, is different in the comic books than it is in the movies.
He's died several different ways, but usually in the comic books they choose... Everyone knows Bucky dies.
Not if if they haven't seen the movies yet. Anyway, so
don't watch this unless you watch the movies and then watch this video.
Yeah. So sorry about
Bucky dies.
Bucky dies. But anyway, so he dies. But anyway,
dead.
So in the comic books, majority of the time he's gonna blow up in a plane.
Yep. He's not gonna fall off and become a Bucky sickle.
Yeah, Bucky sickle.
So.
Crabsicle. Starksicle.
Okay.
Anyway, sickles.
But yeah.
So anyway, I just thought that was worth mentioning so that when you're reading, for example, Man Out of Time, you're not like, what the fuck, he died, and excuse my language, he died on a train. So that didn't happen. That was something that they did exclusively for the cinematic universe. I don't know why. I guess it's more epic.
I prefer the explosion myself. That's a lot more epic.
I mean, it makes more sense as to
they could have still done it, but I'm not going to talk about it. Nope.
Whoop. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Next.
Let me do this one. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is, actually, it's a good segue from that. It's called Winter Soldier. Now,
Bucky-centric.
Bucky-centric, very Bucky-centric. So if you even kind of like Bucky, you will love Winter Soldier. And I'm taking this one over because Winter Soldier is my man.
Also, though, I just want to point out that Winter Soldier was the inspiration for the portrayal of Bucky in the Captain America movie. So if you really digged him and you didn't like the idea of him as a little boy, read it.
Yeah,
Ed Brubaker, genius.
That is another thing. Bucky in the comic books is much more child. Like, he was 16 when he was recruited for Captain America. I just wanted to throw that one out there. It doesn't really affect any major plot points in any comic book. But he was like 16 when he was recruited to be Captain America's sidekick. And this, in Winter Soldier, it does bring light to that. But Winter Soldier is definitely something that you need to read. It reads like a movie. Yeah. And hopefully one day they will make a Winter Soldier movie.
Also, I don't recommend buying Volume 1 of Winter Soldier because Volume 2 of Winter Soldier is out of print.
You can find it on Amazon, but it is in limited quantities.
And
I would just
probably
go out
expensive.
and buy this. It's the Ultimate Collection. It is in print. It is worth it.
It covers everything.
It's $25, but look how thick it is. And it covers Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Winter Soldier. Very, very, very good. And from somebody who loves Winter Soldier, trust me, you need to read it.
And if you dig it, there's also just started. There's only 2 issues out. The new Winter Soldier comic. That's what issue number 1 looks like, and issue number 2.
Also, if you
brilliant. The artwork is incredible.
That is Black Widow. It brings
Black Widow is mentioned in Winter Soldier, so we had to toss it in there.
Yeah. So anyway, we just had to let you know about those. So Winter Soldier.
I had to mention an Iron Man trade, and I think out of all of the Iron Man trades, definitely gonna have to talk about Extremis. It's written by the brilliant Warren Ellis, drawn by Adi Granov. This is what the trade looks like.
Adi Granov, best artist Marvel has.
Yeah, this trade's $15.
So Adi, if you ever get in touch with this comic book, we love you.
Yeah.
Or this this comic book video. Anyway,
Adi Granov, also, if you didn't know, fun fact, he created all of the suits for the Iron Man movies. He was their consult. He went through every single Iron Man comic book, picked suits he liked, suits he didn't like, combined them all so they can reflect multiple eras at the same time. Brilliant guy.
For instance, he is the one that revolutionized the suit.
The suitcase suit. This is basically the inspiration for Extremis, was the suitcase suit from like the 70s.
Yes. So.
And brilliant. I mean, just look at some of the artwork in this book.
I mean,
it's not spoilery, but look at it.
Yeah, seriously.
Incredible.
It's like...
It looks like photorealism.
Yeah, it looks like... Yeah.
But yeah, brilliant book. You gotta read it. It's a classic from the Marvel Knights line.
Also, I think it's the exact same. They have the motion comic for Extremis on Netflix.
It's on DVD as well.
It's on DVD, so...
And there's also a full Marvel Knights DVD line.
There is also a Thor and Loki Blood Brothers motion comic too. It's also on Netflix. You can buy it on DVD or Blu-ray. Just wanted to throw that one out there while we were talking about it. So.
And the only character we have not mentioned yet, but I'm gonna definitely bring this one in because it mentions other Avengers, is this is the Hawkeye Blind Spot trade. It's $16. It is worth it. For a limited time, they had issue number 1 of Blind Spot for free on the Marvel app, which I recommend you getting. It's out for iPhones and for Androids. And they have a free section, and they update it every week. It's brilliant. It's mostly number 1s, so you can start the story for free and continue it if you want to. But yeah, this is the trade. It has It deals a lot with Clint Barton's backstory, so if you don't know that much about Hawkeye, this is for you. It tells you everything that you need to know about him. It also has cameos with Iron Man, Captain America, and Donald Blake Thor, not
funny
son of Odin Thor.
Funny stuff, so you need to actually read some Thor background.
It's quite humorous, and it's brilliant. And also, if you're interested.
While we're talking about him, they do have an Ultimates line for Hawkeye. It's a 4-part series, limited series, whatever you want to call it. Very, very good. It doesn't deal with his backstory. It deals with, like, what happens after he starts working for S.H.I.E.L.D., but totally worth getting. They do have it in trade and hardcover, so you can get it that way. I personally like the single issues because this is issue 4, and just the cover work on these are fantastic, and they are still in circulation. So
yeah, you can probably buy all of the Ultimate Hawkeye line right now.
I mean, if you want to dig through back issues, you can probably get a bunch of this stuff in singles, but they are going to be pretty pricey, especially on the populars. Mm-hmm. I know that for Civil War, if you want to get the first 7 issues, it's around $50 for the single issues, and that is at one of our cheaper, not saying cheap, but
they are one of the most affordable
that's
comic book shops
in our area,
and they give us deals most of the time because we're in there all the time. So.
Yeah, so and they love us and we love them, and it's a very love relationship, and they have cool stuff like Captain Britain, who she kills me all the time because I end up getting them all. But anyway, so so just be on the lookout for these if you really want to get into comic books through the movies, or if you
these are the ones that you're going to want to pick out.
If you're into comic books now and you just haven't figured out how to get,
if you haven't read any of these, recommend.
Yeah, so
instantly. Yeah,
definitely read Winter Soldier. It is one of the best. It is like a movie. It's just fantastic.
Yeah. So happy reading.
Happy trails, guys.